It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome back, folks, to the longest week of your life that's inching by like time standing still. It's fantastic, but it is exhausting. This is all fantastic. I absolutely love it 100%. I cannot be the only one. This whole playoff journey is just exhausting in the best possible way for your Notre Dame soul. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing to be playing in the last game of the year. But this week is just inching by. It's unbelievable how slow this week is going. So welcome in, everybody. Obviously, I want to hear your phone calls. Topic of the day: if Notre Dame's going to win this game, what does that look like for you? And so everybody come up with a couple bullet points or whatever you think Notre Dame's path's going to be. So thanks everybody for being here. I love this group. I love the energy, and let's get into this. This week is going by so slow. This weekend's going to be torturous. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish, at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishandy@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my face, nobody blames you for that. How do you think I feel every single day? Call-in lines, 312-988-15. Dial it up. Tell Uncle Johnny all you've heard and seen. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by SI. Read all about it every day. Patreon.com/Always Irish. He the former captain. He the leading tackler. It's Mike Goolsby and Jared Clark and myself breaking it all down. Promo code, capital letters, NDNATTY. Get yourself 50% off. Not 20, not 30, 50% off. 50 cents. We do appreciate it. The community's growing over there, and we can let it rip a little different over there behind the paywall. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, all right. Welcome in. We still have a long way to go. I'm going to start with this. How about we try and be a little more civil to one another today? Ohio State fans are welcome to come here. This is an open forum. They are welcome to troll me. They're welcome to troll Notre Dame football, talk about the football, whatever. I had to remove, you know me, I don't like having to block people or, from being here. But some of these people just crossed every single line. And if we could just keep it about football, you could be in here and troll me about football all you want, but some of the stuff that came up on the Monday show, I'm just not going to allow in here, and you got to go. So I'm all for the trolling and the back and forth. I love that stuff. I have no problem with that stuff. But if we could just keep it a little more civil, keep it a little more about football, and we can all kind of have fun with this while we're going back and forth. So I just want to throw that out there, and we'll see if anybody takes the bait or not. So there's some interesting stuff going on. All of the Freeman NFL stuff is he is such a college fit. Even talking about it would be a big distraction. Like whatever. So I don't know the reality of all that or not. He is such a good college fit. I've wrote about it before. Marcus Freeman's natural gifts and skill sets would be most beneficial for college guys. The way he is like a mentor and a role model and a family man and all that stuff, and can relate to the younger guys because he's not, you know, the oldest guy in the world. He's not that far removed from being a player and what that's all like. I think his skill set in the world is best served to to be with college age guys. And so that's just what I see. But who knows, you know, what people's careers are going to lead them to or whatever. Maybe way further down the road, I could see it, but not in your prime when you have all this energy to go recruit and do all this stuff. He is the perfect college coach fit right now with his personality and everything. Keep the callers, keep them loading up. And we'll go to you in a minute, callers, as always. You know how that goes. And so let's get here's the first thing. The Brian Kelly stuff. The quote of Brian Kelly rooting, you know, I recruited these guys and I'm rooting for them or whatever. You got to understand, it's a tough spot for Brian Kelly to be in. He already knows nobody likes him. And then what are you supposed to say? I left to go to LSU, and now I look bad because I said that Notre Dame wouldn't give you the resources to win a championship. Now my replacement is on the verge of a championship, and I don't want to see them succeed. Brian Kelly, even he is self-aware enough to know you can't do that. You can't say that. So he goes the other way. He goes the other way with the, you know, I recruited a bunch of these guys now, and so I want to see them succeed. The funny part with that is there are more than one players on this defense right now that were recruited under the Kelly era. They never even met Brian Kelly on a recruiting visit, and they wanted to go to Notre Dame to play for Marcus Freeman. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. I have my sources, and they're very, very good ones on this. Kelly's right. There are a bunch of guys that are playing in this game that were signed in the Kelly era. More than one of them on the defensive side of the ball, for a fact I can verify, never even met Kelly on a recruiting visit, and they committed to Notre Dame because they wanted to play under Freeman's defense and under Freeman's tutelage. So you could take that however you want. It's a bad look for Kelly, and if Notre Dame wins, it's even a worse look for Kelly. He knows that. But he certainly can't get up there and go, screw these people. He did the best he could, but it is hilarious how he nudges his little beak in there to get a little credit. And I will say this. He did hire Freeman and got Freeman into South Bend and integrated into the Notre Dame community. And so even though he tried to steal him when he went to LSU, I guess you got to credit him. I guess you got to credit him for bringing Marcus to South Bend, even though he tried to steal him and bring him to LSU. And so it's interesting. But enough about Tiger Brian Woods. That big game record was a no goods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so sick of talking about that guy. And if Marcus wins this one, you legitimately never really have to bring up Kelly again. Like, that's the end of all the discussions and any debate about anything. And so enough about him. I do not want to make any of this about Brian Kelly with what we have going on. Yeah, ultimate son of a buck for sure. For sure. And so, man, Johnny tried to take him without telling the administration he wanted to destroy ND to feed his ego. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that matches the description of the person I've come to know and his burner account too. So yeah, I'm with that. So again, call of the day is, what's it going to look like for Notre Dame to get this win? And so that's what I kind of want to go over. And I did my video yesterday going over kind of the general vague points that I'm thinking about. You know, you got to play a clean game. You can't give these guys extra chances. Like the Georgia game, anytime there was like a big 50-50 play that could change the outcome, Notre Dame made most of those plays in that game. Take a couple risks, calculated risks, only if you need to. But I'm all for playing to win this game and not playing to not lose or to keep it closer. I'm all for trying to win this game. If you take a couple risks, I'll respect it, whether it hits or not. Going for this, trying to win a championship. Number 4, I had, you got to try and force Ohio State to not play the kind of game they want to play. The more Notre Dame can make this game look like the Michigan-Ohio State game, the more of a chance Notre Dame has to win this game. That is the kind of fist fight Notre Dame wants to be in, not a track meet, but one of those in the trenches, keep the scoring down, one of those punch, counter punch, those type of battles. Notre Dame would love to force Ohio State into a Michigan type of game. Domer guy says, I don't know how we score points. Well, you're going to have to figure it out. You got a few days. You're going to have to figure something out. You're going to have to figure it out. And then the number 5 thing is the Notre Dame spirit. I'm never counting out the Notre Dame spirit in this kind of situation. We got an Ohio State fan here, $45-13. Woo, baby. That's a rough one. That is a 45-13 that's trouble. You got trouble. Going to be a long off season. So that's rough. And again, here's something else I think is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. 19% of the time, Will Howard has faced man coverage. Most of these teams don't have athletes in the secondary, and most of that Big Ten is playing soft zone to keep everything in front of them because they don't have real athletes on the outside on the secondary. And when you do that, then Howard could just know where his athletes are going to be in the soft spot of his zone and just throw the ball there. And then the yards after catch, because they're such good athletes, they can usually cook after that. Notre Dame's going to be in man a lot more than 19%. I don't know what the percentage is going to be. There will be certain zone situations. They're going to be in man a lot more, 19%. What that means is you're going to live and die with probably your most athletic unit that you've had all year. And Will Howard's either going to burn you on some of those or get a bunch of penalties called on our guys that are grabbing and pulling or whatever, or he's not used to seeing that much man. Notre Dame does a good job with it, and it's trouble, and that benefits Notre Dame. But I understand it. It's like we trust our guys. They've been, one of our best units all year. We're rolling with that. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. Something else, too. Tomorrow night, I recorded something yesterday with Eric Boggs of the Ohio Pod that you guys have gotten to know here. Genuinely a really good person. Even though he's on the Ohio State side, I can vet him outside of, the YouTube world, that he's a genuinely really, really good person that respects Notre Dame and what I do. I recorded something with him that'll go tomorrow morning, a preview, getting an idea on the Ohio State side. I'm going to join their live stream tomorrow night, Thursday night, I believe 7:00 our time, 8 Eastern. Any of you guys that want to jump over there, provide a Notre Dame moral support in the chat, because I'm going into the snake pit. And I know I'm going to be severely outnumbered, and they're going to have they're going to have a whole bunch of people in their chat that are Ohio State people. So anybody that wants to bounce over there and help your boy out, I appreciate the moral support. But go over there to the Ohio Pod, 7:00 tomorrow live. I'll be there defending the Notre Dame cause as best I can. Okay, couple super chats and regular chats that are really good. And then we'll give it to the callers and we'll see what you guys think. Commander Luke, he's on a roll today, folks. The path to victory is don't let Ohio State score more in 2023. If they score much over that, Notre Dame goes down. Keeping the score down from their end is a main priority. You cannot let this turn. If it's a track meet, Notre Dame loses. I feel confident in that. Yeah, 7 Central tomorrow, Doc, and it's the Ohio Pod. I agree with this. You want to keep that score down, and if it's a track meet, Notre Dame's in big trouble, man. Ohio State's been jumping people's bones in the first quarter. you blink and it's 14-0 and 3 minutes is off the clock because of how quick these guys scored. This cannot be that or it will get ugly. And that cannot happen. Mikey Poles, Notre Dame needs to make this blue collar game. Low scoring, run the ball, stop the run seems obvious. I know. But if we could bully Georgia up front, why can't we do it to OSU? Yeah, again, I'm right there with you guys. Right there with you guys on keeping that score down. How much did the flu affect the game last week? Most team was sick. That could be why they look tired and depleted. Listen, what I think is the short turnaround from Georgia affected them. I believe the emotional toll of everything poured into Georgia and the situation in New Orleans had something to do with it. And then you add in the flu. And it doesn't surprise me that Notre Dame was a little sluggish to start. But whatever they did, they woke up after halftime and really did what they needed to do. Man, they were struggling, and I expect us to come out with way more energy to begin this game. And you're going to need it if you want to beat these guys. Mikey pulls. Brian Kelly came out and said he's excited for ND and he'll be rooting for him. Obviously, to make it about him, saying he recruited players on the team. No thanks, BK. Go back to the golf course. I already covered that. He did recruit some of these guys, and some of them he didn't even have time to meet with on the recruiting visit, and they committed to play for Marcus on that defense. Mark, BK said ND can and will win championships, but wanted to go somewhere with the resources to win championships. Which is it? Yeah, I know. What do you want Brian Kelly to do, man? He's boxed himself in, and so he's in a rough spot. There's no way around it. This whole thing is an embarrassing look for him. I don't know whether his ego allows him to even see that, though, the way he operates. Jay Carr, Shane Gillis had Joe Rogan in awe watching the love hurdle and the TD run. He's not even a football guy. Yeah, maybe we'll get Rogan to call in next time. We had Gillis. We'll do a Kill Tony routine right here. Sly Fox, 5 days, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. And then only 3 months till the Always Irish Tailgate spring game with Ronald being the head fry cook. I'm just picturing Ronald in the full McDonald's outfit with the cigar and an Always Irish koozie, and he's back there flipping burger. He's give me a McDouble. He's in the morning. We're out there for the tailgate. He's handing out hash browns. I'm waiting on John's blurry Bigfoot video from the walk. Yeah, we'll see. When I need to get out of football, sometimes I'll look at music documentaries. Like sometimes I need to totally get away from football. Music documentaries or UFO stuff. The history of the Chicago outfit. Like I try and find all these things that are not close to football at all to get as far away from that world as I can for my own sanity. If you go down the Bigfoot rabbit hole, some of these people think all the pictures of Bigfoot you see are blurry is because they're kind of operating at a different vibration level than humans and the physical things we see. And so the claim is like they're half in the real world that humans can see, but half of their natural vibration and existence is at a different parallel level than what we're able to comprehend. And that's why they're blurry. Like, dude, I'm doing everything I can to get away from football a little bit. Like, I just need it. So but that's a theory of why all the Bigfoot pictures, they're operating in the physical, metaphysical world humans can understand, but kind of out of it at the same time. So the picture ends up blurry. It is funny, though. You could zoom into the moon and get a 4K perfect picture on some little rock on the moon, but a Bigfoot runs by and suddenly it's just a big brown blur. $10 olive from the Domer for life. God bless the Irish. Let's get the natty. That is very simply stated, but I appreciate the messaging. $5 olive from the rotate. This might have been asked, but is there an update on Collins? Why didn't he play if he is playing Monday? I think he's recovering. He had some sort of injury. I forget what it is, but he was not 100%. Is it an ankle or something? I thought I remembered that. Don't quote me on that. 559 up on the line, $5 holler. I'll call on Saturday night. Be ready, Irish Nation. It's about to go down. Oh, I'm ready. I don't know what I'm going to get out of you, but I'm ready for it at all times. Oh, man. Rose Quartz Lemonade, $20 holler. That's a new name in here. John, been a fan since the 2022 ND Bucks game. I believe ND has a great chance. It sucks that major players are hurt. I respect your defense. Okay, it's an Ohio State guy. Thanks for the donation. I respect your defense, but I think the OSUD is too nasty. How do you feel about the pass game? Not incredibly great is how I feel about the pass game. The same way I felt about it all year. Although I got to be honest, Notre Dame's, you could argue the best Notre Dame's passing game has been in the playoff. Like, you could really legitimately argue that. And so how do I feel about our pass game? If Notre Dame's in a position where they got to pass to win, I think we're screwed. Like, that's just not Notre Dame's bread and butter, man. It's just not the bread and butter. That's not the game Notre Dame wants to play, and not one I think they're going to win. If it's a passing game against a passing game, then Ohio State's going to win. It's just that simple. WPP $10 holler. Only one way to win. Old school. Put Tosh Baker at tight end to run block, run right at Ohio State. 3rd and 4, running down. Talent disparity becomes irrelevant once you punch them in the face. This is the road map to a Notre Dame victory, I believe, is the more Notre Dame can muck this up, muddy this up, and make it more of a punching battle in the trenches, draw this game out with lower scores, the more of a chance Notre Dame has to succeed in this moment. Dr. John is going to start us off. The lines are not that busy yet. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. What's up, Doc?
I'm numb.
I know.
Yeah, that's just the way I feel right now. I just, I've still got that angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other.
Yeah.
Thinking, we're going to win this game. No, we're going to get blown out. Oh, no. So, hey, before we go any further, I know there's a delay. Can you hold up the bingo card a second?
Yeah. Which one? I got 2.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I got 2.
Well, let me just ask you. Is a beautiful thing on there anywhere?
Oh, I don't have that. That needs to go on a new one. I got camera freezes.
Oh, that needs to go on there. You know why?
Why?
Because it would be a beautiful thing.
It certainly would be. Well, we'll need, if we pull this off, we're going to need a whole new bingo card with a whole bunch of new stuff. Dr. John, I'm a little concerned, though. I was hoping you were going to be able to call in and tell me, as somebody who's been through this many, many, many times with Notre Dame, how the rest of us, where this is kind of newer territory, how we should be able to survive the next handful of days. Do you have any advice? I tried to get out with the dog and get some fresh air. You got any advice on how Notre Dame fans should handle the rest of this run up? I'm running on empty emotionally, and my nerves are shot. And I'm openly admitting that I am running on empty emotionally, and my nerves are shot from this playoff run already. Do you have any advice?
Well, here's the regimen I'm in. I haven't had any alcohol since last Friday. So starting tonight, I'm going to use copious quantities.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's I like that. I asked for advice, and the wise doc says, drink more. I love it.
I'll tell you, when you were talking earlier, I don't know why I was thinking about Christian Gray. You know they're going to try to pick on him.
Yeah.
And he seems to get better every frickin' game. He is. There's no doubt he's a gamer. And boy, would I like to see him shine on Monday night. I think the kid's going to be an amazing football player.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Doc. I think a big part of this game is Notre Dame is going to go man way more often than most teams have facing this Ohio State passing attack. And you're either going to get burned by it, or Notre Dame's going to make some plays and rattle this quarterback, and he's going to get frustrated, and that keeps Notre Dame in this football game. But Notre Dame is going to trust their guys. They're not going to go man every single snap, but they're going to do it a lot, and I think they're going to show belief in their guys on the back end, and it's either going to burn us or maybe win us a championship. I truly believe that's going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, and once again, I think it's going to fall on Leonard to take care of the ball. That's always my biggest concern, is that he's going to give it away. But even with all these injuries, it has been amazing how good this football team is.
Yeah.
And you couldn't be more proud of Marcus and his staff. They have just done an amazing job. I got to put them right up there in the top 3 in the country. They got to be.
Yeah, they're doing. This whole thing would be a different narrative if you were like, look at Notre Dame. This is just a lucky year for them where everything's going your way and you're really healthy and you don't have any major injuries, like whatever. The path Notre Dame has taken to get here, and with these catastrophic injuries, it's really, really impressive. And that's why you're just sitting there going, man, if you came this far, can you guys find any way, shape, or form to grind out one more and write one of the... Doc, I am seeing people that have no interest in Notre Dame on the internet saying this would be one of the most amazing championship runs of all time when you look at this thing. These aren't even Notre Dame people saying it.
Yeah, I agree. It's been we've said this before. Starting in week 3, it was a playoff game every week.
Yep.
Every week.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that's helped them. That's the mentality they've had. Saturday, we got to win.
Yeah, it is.
We have to win.
Yeah, find a way.
And they're willing themselves. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, it's just they've come so far to get to this point. You're just like, man, is there any way you guys could grind one more out and you will be legends for the rest of your lives? Like, lay it all out there. But man, what an incredible run. And this Notre Dame's gained some credibility here that we haven't had in a long time, regardless of how this game goes. I know we all want this game, and it's really great to see what's happened here, man. It's a beautiful thing. Are you worried Freeman's running off to the NFL or not, Doc? You taking any of that seriously?
I missed that, John. What'd you say now?
I said, are you taking any of this stuff about Freeman in the NFL seriously, or do you think this is all just smoke?
No, I'm not taking it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's serious or not, I'm not taking it seriously. So.
What a good answer. What a good answer.
I got one more thing, and that's Jeremiah Love. Man, I hope he is as healthy as he can be. That run he made for a touchdown, he willed himself into that end zone, and I think that's the attitude this team is going to have. They're going to will themselves to win. Whether they make it or not, they're not going to leave anything out there. I know that.
Yeah.
They're going to play. They're going to play their hearts out, and you can't ask any more than that.
Yep, they're going to do that, and I believe they're going to come out with a lot more energy than they had in the tank to start the last game. I really do believe that, and they're going to give it their all, and so we'll see.
What's that podcast site tomorrow? Just the Ohio Podcast?
Yeah, the Ohio Pod or the Ohio Podcast, and yep, you just type that into YouTube.
Okay, I will try to check in. You have a great show. It's been an amazing ride, and let's go around one more time on this Ferris wheel.
Yep, let's go, man. Dr. John, I love you. Thanks for being here. Old Ben is taking shots at my technical football. Old Ben here is taking shots at my technical football knowledge. If you've been around here at all for any amount of time, I've never claimed to be an analyst. I've never claimed to be an X's and O's guy. I just want to be a conduit to the fan and how they're thinking and feeling. Unlike a lot of people here that do this kind of thing, I don't fake to be stuff that I'm not. And I'm not an analyst. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I never claimed I was. That's not my expertise. That's not what I try and be. I'm never going to fake to be that. I just like talking about how all this makes you think and feel as a Notre Dame fan. That's my lane, and I'm happy to stay in it, and I'm happy to own it. But I'm not the guy that's going to break down all the film and the coverages and everything. That's not my role in this, and I'm never going to act like it is. And I'm happy doing what I'm doing. It works for me. Mikey Poles, $2 holler. What if Indy warms up in blue and comes out in green? Yeah, we've been in the whites, and now we're going with the blues. Ryan Elliott, $10 holler. Win the line of scrimmage. That quarterback will throw picks. Let's go. Let's go. I like that. Rose Quartz Lemonade, $5 holler. I don't know much about your wideouts, tight ends. All I know is a Bucks fan. Y'all got Love and Riley running like the two horsemen. Yeah, for sure. Price is good too. I gotta say though, Jaden Greathouse, he had a great end of that game. Like, he emerged with Collins out. He got more opportunities. I'm still waiting to see. I want something with Faison. I got a feeling Faison's gonna bust out here. Like, try something. Oh man. And the tight ends, you bring up the tight ends. Wasn't it clear that, like, I mean, now Flanagan's out. That's another guy out with injury. But I just felt like these guys coming off the injuries were not 100% all year. Raritan and Evans, I just felt like they were clunky coming out of breaks, and the recovery from them after both of them having catastrophic lower leg injuries was just tough. Really, really tough. And they're starting to get back into it. And Evans was a bigger part of the game plan in the last game. So I don't know. Yeah, it's the Ohio State people are waking up and they're in here running their miles. Good for them. 703. What's going on? Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I'm a first-time caller. First off, love your show. Been watching all season. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch a lot of the game because my military college is marching in the inauguration. So I'm going to try and watch it on my phone as much as I can. But to your question about how we beat Ohio State, man, I think defensively, I think we just need to put pressure on Howard because as we've seen, if he has time to throw that ball, it's scary. Those receivers develop their routes on man coverage. That's scary. I just think we need to blitz and just run good man coverage. What do you think of that?
Yeah, listen, I think Notre Dame's going to be aggressive. They're going to trust their guys in the back end. But I think stopping the run on early downs is a big key to all this. Like, if Ohio State could start picking up 4 yards on the ground on first down or whatever, really frees them up to do whatever they want. And so there's no easy path here. Notre Dame's got to do a legitimately good job at the line of scrimmage and against the run, and then trust your guys to defend all those athletes and get a little pressure on Howard and speed him up.
Yes, sir. I think that would. I think, like you just said, it's a tough road no matter what. It's going to be a fight, and it's going to be an uphill fight. But, as we mentioned, this is our moment. We've been violent all season. Why can't we be violent again for one more game and finish them off?
Yeah.
And I think we are fully capable, and I think we're going to do that. And just one last thing for the offense, I think Mike Denbrock got to get aggressive. Go at him hard nosed, and throw that ball downfield. Make them be on their toes, because as we've seen, they know we like the quick passes to our tight ends and Faison, 10-yard minimum or maximum. But I think we need to take more shots downfield to keep them on the toes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they approach that, how aggressive they want to be. Do you take some shots? If you're going to do something like that, do you do it earlier in the game, trying to jump Ohio State's bones and create something early? Or is that something that you wait and do? Is that something you wait and do when you need it? There's a lot of give and take here as far as how aggressive they're going to be or what they're going to try and do or not. And the other thing I've been thinking a lot about is this is why you pay big time money to get Al Golden and Mike Denbrock here. It's for them to scheme up something in this type of moment. This is where that needs to pay off with those two guys.
I agree. He's been excellent so far, and yeah, you're right. We paid him the money to come do this stuff, and he's stepped up. He's done great all postseason. So, like I said, why can't we do it again? Everybody's counting us out. There's no reason to. We've overcome injuries. Our depth has been great. Let's do it one more time.
Yeah. Yep. It's and listen, I am fine with all the confidence from the Ohio State end. I understand why they have the confidence. On Twitter, I see big time Ohio State accounts with a lot of followers that are saying we don't even have to play good to beat these guys, like whatever. I'm the more overconfident their side is, the better I think it is for Notre Dame. So I am all for them being overconfident entering this game.
I agree. Let Ryan Day think about it.
Yeah, it's I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is now. I am fine letting all of the pressure be on the Ohio State side and on Ryan Day. I am absolutely fine with that. I think that helps Notre Dame lean into the underdog. Everybody's disrespecting us. Let's go prove them wrong one more time. That whole thing, I'm ready for it. But this Notre Dame group is different, and they're going to be mentally prepared for this moment. I'm sure of it.
I agree. Listen, thanks, John. I love your show. I've been watching all season. Can't wait to, already can't wait for next season, no matter the outcome of this game. And go Irish and go Army.
Hey, thank you very, very much, and thank you for your service. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. The lines are not that jammed yet. So if you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. Tom says Ohio State lost to Michigan and Oregon. Yeah, dude, I keep seeing that Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. Obviously, that was embarrassing and unfortunate. I keep seeing that. And it's like, yeah, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. Well, what's worse? Playing bad at home in one like cluster, totally nightmare game, or losing two actual games in the year? Even though they're the better teams, you lost twice in a year. So like, are we going to fight over that? Like, yeah, they were the better teams. I understand it's not Northern you lost to, but I don't see a scenario where two losses could be better than one, no matter who they're against. Like, so, and then the other thing is, like I said about Georgia, I'm like, the lead up to that, I said, Notre Dame lost. Yeah, Notre Dame lost to Northern. Georgia lost a couple games too. So, like, I wasn't buying that Georgia's this perfect, impermeable roster you can't do anything on. They already showed vulnerabilities. And all the Georgia people told me was, oh, no, John. No. Now we're in the postseason, and Georgia's going to hit a switch, and it's going to be a totally different team now that it's the postseason. It isn't going to look you can't compare what happened in the regular season. Now, they all told me I'm a fool for looking at Georgia's struggles in the year and being like, they look vulnerable to me. No. They all told me Kirby's going to flip the switch and playoff Georgia's going to kick in. What ended up happening? The Georgia you saw had the same struggles against us they had in the games they lost and barely won. So Ohio State's good. They have found a different level of play in the postseason, but they are not totally a perfect team. That's just not the reality. That is not the reality. Let's keep it moving. We're doing a pretty good job with people getting to their points, keeping it moving. Let's do it again. 626, welcome to the show.
Good morning, John. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. I'm a little stressed out. I'm worn thin, but I love being here.
Right on. I'm by the way, I'm Domer for life. My name is Caesar. I'm from Southern California. The last time I spoke to you was right after the Notre Dame USC game that I went to. So it's been a while since I've reached out, but I've been listening to the podcast, the show. It's still doing awesome, and I just want to comment one thing about the Monday show. I know that there's so much haters out there, dude, that hate not only Notre Dame, but hate our faith, our Catholic faith. But I just want to, kind of say that, like Jesus said, pray for those who persecute you, and that's why our faith is always persecuted. And I know that Notre Dame is one of the probably the most hated team, in the nation. So, we just got to pray for those people, man, and remember that with everything that's going on out here in Southern California right now, I'm pretty sure that you've probably heard that, all the fires and the winds that are causing so much havoc. We need to remember what's important, that we're all God's children and we're all made in his image. And so
that's a very mature take.
So with that being said, just God bless all of our fans, especially those that were really upset on Monday. And, just, hey, you know what? Just pray for those people, man. And that's all I got to say. But let's get back to the football. And, Notre Dame's just having, to me, dude, they're a team of destiny this year. Just to see the way they're playing, the way they've come together. And, yes, Freeman, I mean, gosh, I just can't say enough about that guy. I don't know if by any chance you saw that article that was released, and I didn't even know that Brian Kelly did so much damage to the Notre Dame. And I know that you had said that, that guy did so much crap and he was such an unlikable person.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really aware of it, that he took away one of the most sacred traditions.
Yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Notre Dame had. I mean, and oh my gosh.
Now wait. Now wait. Explain to the callers what you're referencing. I know what you're referencing. Explain to the callers what he took away from the Notre Dame pregame routine. I know where you're going, but let the crowd know.
The mask.
Yep.
The mask on college on game day.
Yep.
Which was a sacred tradition. Yeah. And then they did the walk, and with all the fans and all the alumni. And I mean, and that was something that was impacted by Freeman when he was a recruit, because Notre Dame was trying to recruit him. And he witnessed that. And that was one of the first things he did once he came back, once he became head coach, to bring that tradition back. And then for him to, convert to Catholicism and do his sacraments was just such a beautiful story. It's on Athlon Sports, I believe that, not sure who published it, but it was a wonderful article. I just thought that I'd share that with the callers. But I just think they're a team of destiny. Freeman is meant to be here. I hope he doesn't leave. I pray he doesn't leave. But, to see them win the way they've been winning, it's just amazing. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but in that game against Penn State, how when our field goal kicker kicked that field goal, and it appeared that it was going right, and then all of a sudden, that sucker just went left.
Yep.
And the way the way Christian Gray picked off that pass, the way they finished the USC game with those two back-to-back touchdown returns for, interceptions, return for touchdowns. I mean, it's just so much that's out there that they're on a different path, man. They're on a different level. I get it. Ohio State's loaded with all these 5-stars. But to me, dude, honestly, Notre Dame's going to have to go out there and play their game regardless of, they got to play the way they've been playing, regardless. And I know that Ohio State's going to be up, but Ohio State, to me, dude, they're beatable. They're beatable. I'm sorry, but any team on any given day is beatable. And if they come out, and think, and you're right, when you were saying about how they, let them float those guys' heads up. Let them get all full of themselves, thinking, we're playing our little brother. Yeah, but little brother on one out of 7 days, he'll kind of smack you on the mouth,
Yeah.
And that's fine, because that's all we need. That's all we need. And I honestly think that Denbrock needs to open up the playbook a little bit, keep those guys, like that previous caller said, on their toes and kind of surprise them. Because if he keeps doing some of the same things that he's doing, we're going to be very predictable. And we need to be unpredictable on offense, I believe.
Yeah.
He just needs to open it up a little bit more. Defense needs to keep doing what they're doing, because, man, those guys are playing just 5-star football, man. Those guys, to me, all those guys, even the guys that have come up and, KVA being, hurt and still playing now, and, Howard Cross, and man, it's a shame that we lost Riley Mills, but man, next man up. But they're all playing like 5 stars, man.
Yeah, they've done a really good job.
You know,
Yeah, they've done a really good job. But with
yeah, they're just playing lights out, dude. They really are.
Yeah, this is going to be let's see if we got one more in us, man. Anything on the way out? Thanks for the call.
No, that's it, man. And thank you for what you do. Thank you for giving us that platform to be able to, share our thoughts. And yeah, appreciate you, John. And good luck with that podcast tomorrow, man. You're going to get a lot of hate.
Yeah, it's hey, man. That's what I signed up for here. Like, it comes with the territory, and we'll see if we can get some Notre Dame fans over there to have my back. Thanks a lot, buddy. Give me a call later in the week or on the post game show. Let's do a couple more chats, and then we'll go right back to your calls. Right back to your calls. Oh, man. Yeah, this is the Make-A-Wish Foundation channel. Ain't nobody coming to help you, Notre Dame. This game will be played on the field. Wow. You're a genius with that one. I don't even know what that means. I literally have no idea what this means. Is it taking a shot at us valuing religion? Is that what this is? And the Make-A-Wish thing is the religious part? I just don't. I don't understand. Come with better logic next time. 35, only 35, $20 holler. Rich Eisen's now pulling for ND and actually likes ND now because of the Freeman factor. Enemy of my enemy is my friend theory. Yeah, it's he's a Michigan dude all the way. CW, the second, the best thing that could happen to this Ohio State team was losing to Michigan in the last game of the season. Mark Ingram said this team's been possessed. Do you believe that, CW, too? Do you believe that, or is it what works for you now? But I have a hard time believing any Ohio State people are okay losing to Michigan no matter what. Am I wrong? Are you guys changing it up? That's what I have a problem with. I'm seeing some philosophical shifts here that I don't know are genuine. Are you really okay losing to Michigan, even if it means like winning the title and all that? Are you okay? How about 3 in a row? How about 4 in a row? How about 5 in a row? Like, are you okay losing to Michigan nonstop for theoretical motivation from that point on? I'm not being sarcastic. I'm really asking. This is another one I really, really struggle with, man. This is another one I'm struggling with. Freeman couldn't beat NIU. I keep seeing this. And the problem I have with this is, yeah, Notre Dame lost to NIU, and then they won, 13 or 14 games in a row. There was a 9-game stretch. They won all by double digits. You've won the SEC. Notre Dame is the SEC champions. They knocked off the only other outside of Oregon. They knocked off 2 other Big Ten teams in the playoff that add credibility or whatever. And it's just like, how fair is it to hold NIU against Notre Dame's odds of winning this game? That's the part I struggle with. I understand if you're not a smart person and you're sitting in your mom's basement with your little fat fingers on your keyboard, you're going to type in they lost to NIU and so therefore you can't beat Ohio State. I don't understand that. That was like, I don't see the connection of the relevance of the NIU game now. This is not the week after NIU. Like, all of those takes would make sense if it was the week after NIU we were playing this game. But with all these months in between and Notre Dame not losing a game in between and then beating some teams in the playoff, I don't see how the NIU thing is that relevant anymore, other than it seemed to be the big turning point, motivational factor turning point for Notre Dame, the same way the Ohio State people are saying the Michigan game was. Oh, after that horrible loss that you couldn't have at home, you turned it on and found a different level. That's what Northern Illinois was for Notre Dame. So I see a lot of symmetry there. I don't know. I understand, though, that it's something to say to downgrade Notre Dame. I just don't think it's extremely relevant at this point. 757, welcome to the show. If you're on hold, stay there. We'll try and get to you. What's going on, 757?
Hey, John. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, yeah, this is John. I'm out here in Virginia Beach, very lonely because there's not a lot of Notre Dame fans out here. But I was down at the Orange Bowl, met your brother out there and his wife. Awesome tailgate. Appreciate everything they did out there.
Oh, man. That means the world to me, man. That means the world to me. I'm like, dude, if my brother's going, at least represent for us. You know, bring the flag and meet some people. I'm just glad that we had a little piece of.
He did. He was in the perfect spot in the parking lot. As soon as we came out of the lot, I told my wife, I said, we got to look to the always Irish flag. And there it was, like, right. I mean, it was flying perfectly so everyone could see.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I got to give credit to, I got to give credit to my brother on that one, putting that all together and making sure that he was, making sure he got a good spot. And Andrew even told me, he said the wind was flying perfect, just enough breeze where you could read that. Oh, he's like, John, it worked out where the wind was blowing constantly, gently, just enough where you could fully read the flag. That was perfect.
Yeah, he wasn't lying on that one. Anyway, listen, you have a, first time caller here. I listen to your show all the time, but all of your callers are so good because they were going over everything. You know, I made a few notes, but what I consistently hear is this is a team of destiny, right? So if you look at this game on paper, there's no way we can win. Generally, I think it comes down to the grit that Marcus Freeman has built. I mean, I'd like to know, from the start of the year, we had all of our starters, and now we're playing second stringers, third stringers on defensive line, offensive line, all these. Where are we? I mean, as far as like a number, like from first string to second string, dude, to third string.
You're teams.
I mean, it's like what is going?
It's double digits.
It still doesn't matter.
It's double digits.
Like it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, it's double digit guys in the two deep that are out, half of which are on the defensive front alone. And I got to say, I am completely impressed. Notre Dame has turned the next man up thing into an absolutely, like, they're succeeding, and all of those next man up are playing great football. And there has not been a drop off. And it's been really a testament to the recruiting, to the development, to the evaluations of the staff, and the most credit goes to these players for taking advantage when they get an opportunity. It is one of the number one things I'm most impressed with the whole year is how those next men up have done such a good job.
Oh, exactly. And we got to think, a lot of these players are freshmen and sophomores, never expected to play at all. Now they're going through a championship run and have all of this experience behind them. What's going to happen next year? I mean, we have a really bright future. Aeneas Williams, in that game, that Penn State game, came up big with that 36-yard catch and then a 15-yard run right after that. I'm like, man, we have a future. I mean, this is a freshman playing behind two, like, really good running backs.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And you know what else, too? Here's the other thing.
What else are we going to...
The offensive line next year is going to be amazing. This offensive line.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, when those guys are healthy, that offensive line is going to be it is going to be a dominant offensive line. When you get all these guys shifted into their rightful positions again, and they're healthy, that's going to be a dominant offensive line. But what I think I'm most impressed with this year, regardless of how the final game turns out, is I have learned Notre Dame is a lot closer to the top of this sport than what I thought we were going into this year and throughout most of this year. That is a big thing I've learned, is that Notre Dame is a lot closer to the top than I felt that they were. And there's still a lot of room here to get even better on this roster. So it's really impressive for the future. This doesn't feel like a Michigan thing last year where you're like, all of our good players are upperclassmen guys, and if we don't win it now, we're screwed. This is our only shot. This does not feel like one of those moments. There's plenty of room for growth here, and I don't think this is anywhere near the highest-end Freeman team in Notre Dame. That is awesome.
No, I agree. I think we've become accustomed as Notre Dame fans to say, look at the potential, look at what's going to happen next year, look what we're going to have next year, and boy, this guy's going to develop. Boy, we're going to be really good next year. But, I mean, we're right in it this year. I think it's going to take some we need to be a team of destiny, I think, to win this game. I mean, because Ohio State, they have the best roster, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think we can, if we get some turnovers and special teams, if we can create some plays on special teams and a couple turnovers can turn that game right around. And I love it.
Here's how I'm looking at it.
That everyone is saying like 45-13 Ohio State. The overconfidence that they have. If we go out and punch them in the mouth early, they're gonna be stunned.
Yeah,
it's like oh boy, now what? And then we run some clock off and
the way I've been
turnovers and we can win this game.
The way I've been talking about it is, and I talked with Eric from the Ohio Pod on the show we recorded yesterday. Like on paper, Ohio State should probably win, but Notre Dame just refuses to lose. So something's got to give. Like that's honestly how I feel. Like there's no part of me that's going to go, yeah, if you line up those two rosters and their health status now, I'm picking Notre Dame's. No, I'm not doing that. However, Notre Dame just refuses to lose a game, and I'm not picking against them to do it now. They've come too far. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not. So they should probably win on paper, but Notre Dame refuses to lose. So something's got to give.
No, I agree. Moving forward, I think we're in a great position. Marcus has put us in a great position, and we've actually benefited a lot from all of these injuries. Moving forward, right now.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
I think these players are ready. I think they're ready. I think they're going to be pumped up. Now, we don't have the star power, like as far as 3, 4, 5-star players, but these players are playing well beyond their star ratings. I mean, you pop somebody in there, and it's almost like they look like they're starters.
Yeah,
I mean, they should have been starting from the beginning of the year because they're really that good. Now, I mean, we've talked about it's like, at what point does that really affect us to where we can't win? Well,
they've done it this far.
Know.
You just got to do one more. That's all. One more. Just do one more.
One more. Yeah, and it's like some of the players. I have full confidence that they can do it.
Yeah,
and I think they will. I'm not a betting man, but
you got to do the right thing.
I'm very tempted to put some money on Notre Dame for this game.
I'm not counting. I'm not counting Notre Dame out.
I want to.
I'm not counting Notre Dame out. They've earned that from me for the way they've pulled it together this year. And we're going to see what's going to happen, man. Hey, thank you very, very much for the call, and save the number and call me again. Good call.
All right, brother.
Have a good one. Thank you. Man, we got good callers today. A couple more chats and we'll go back to the calls. We're doing a pretty good job moving along. Kent Jackson. John, I just wanted you to know I called PETA and the Chicago local police department and reported you after watching that poor video of Chloe being physically and mentally. That poor dog doesn't understand, man. She's never back there to not just walk around in a field and like sniff around. And then I made her sit there for 20 minutes with a leash while I yelled about football. That's on me. I don't blame her for her little whimper. It kind of bothered me in the video because it's annoying, but like I understand she wanted to go do some things. I totally understand that. Oh, that's funny. $10 holler from Pilney. Bryce is a throwback. He's a young Alan Page, body style and tenacity. Page was a big part of Ayers' team in 66. Man, that guy he's an animal already as a youngster. It's unbelievable. It really is. Lewis Lee, 10-14. Indy plays hard, plays defense, and runs the ball. You could stay in the game doing that. I got Ohio State pulling it out 24-17. That is a very reasonable take. So thank you for being here. And that's a very, very reasonable position to have. I like it very much. Mark with glasses. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? I just got a couple of things, and I got something if you ask me if I have anything on the way out.
Okay.
First and foremost, there's not another program with the momentum that we have right now. It doesn't look the prettiest, but who gives a shit? Like, you even look at a lot of what people are saying, like the so-called people with credentials nationally. Like, everybody seems to be a fan of what's going on, and Marcus Freeman is just impossible to dislike. So I think all that together makes it a team that's easy to root for.
Yeah. And that isn't just within our fan base. That is nationally, man. You got so many people that used to crap on stingy old Notre Dame and stuck up old Notre Dame. And now you got these people looking at a fun, modern program with a modern energy and guys that are having fun and playing good football. They don't get in trouble off the field. They're going to their classes. Like, this is what it should look like at Notre Dame. And you're getting it. And it's just beautiful. Mark, pull it out. One more time. Find a way, damn it.
Yeah, and all these attention-seeking clowns like Cam Newton and Ronald McDonald can say whatever they want. They obviously don't mind looking foolish with their, big hats and goofy takes, and they just have no substance to what they're saying. Bart Smella the other day.
Yeah.
All of them. And the Ohio State fans now act like shit's sweet. But, four games ago, they wanted their coach fired. Now, all of a sudden, they're back on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're like a whole other category.
It's interesting.
Now they love him again. The guy hasn't won shit in years. His last conference championship was 2020. He hasn't won shit. Now they're back on board because they have a chance at winning.
Yeah,
so,
it is. Mark, have you thought about both of these coaches just this year alone? After week 2, there were questions about the Notre Dame side, and is the Freeman era teetering, and what direction is this really heading in? And there was a lot of instability and uncomfortable feelings around where the program was going directionally after week 2. And then now you look at being one game away from a statue. In a couple short months, that turn was made within Notre Dame's program. And then similarly, all the Ohio State fans wanted to run Ryan Day out of town. And now he's one win away from fighting Lou Holtz in an alley and him getting a statue. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and even big picture, they're going to be jumping ship if Ohio State loses. He's 5-4 in the postseason, soon to be 5-5. Freeman's the complete opposite. He'll have won 6 in a row, and he'll be 6-1. His only loss was when he was a coach for like a couple of weeks. So
yeah, it's
the complete opposite with like stability and the trajectory of where things are going. Real quick about the game, like I still think about it a couple times a day. Like I still can't believe it's Notre Dame versus Ohio State for all the marbles. Like nobody could have written a better script than this. And
yeah,
I think
did they got one more in them? Mark, if you have one more in them, you have one of the most compelling 30 for 30s you could ever write up where you can't even make up Jack Sacco himself, the famous producer, couldn't even make up a script that would match what the 30 for 30 would be of Freeman's Ohio State journey from Big Ten linebacker at Ohio State, all the troubles, Marcus 10-man, Northern Illinois, all the injuries, all the way to a championship. You can't even write that script if you're making it up. And I'm going to write a book called Marcus Freeman and the Fighting Irish, and I'm going to make it look just like the Frank Leahy one.
Yeah, and third time will be the charm. And we've won 13 basically elimination games in a row. And I think all that early adversity and these last couple wins in particular kind of gives us the experience and confidence that going into a game like this. But overall, I am scared shitless. Goolsby on Patreon Monday was much needed to kind of get me to feel like we have a chance in this game. But overall, like I just think no yards on first down for this offense is going to be disastrous. So, run the ball early and often, like try to protect Riley Leonard from having to throw. And I think I've got Jeter winning by a field goal somehow, some way. Don't ask how.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my
It's
take
just-
too, Mark. That's what I told Eric when I did the recording with him and we were talking about it. I'm like, I'm picking Notre Dame in a close one, and don't ask me how we get there, but I just don't have it in me to root against them. They've earned it from me, and they're gonna find a way to do it one more time because it just feels like this is the year. And if that blows up on me, I'm happy to go down with this particular ship because they've earned me picking them in this game to find a way because of what they've done and how they fought. If I go down with that ship, I go down with that ship. The only other game I was wrong about all year was Northern Illinois, and who wasn't? So I got a pretty good record going so far.
Yeah, if I was impartial, I would probably have a hard time seeing how we win this game. But screw it, I got Notre Dame by a field goal. That's all I got. Thanks for taking my call.
Mark, anything else on the way out? How are you holding up, buddy?
I'm not holding up too good over here. This game's taking forever.
I know.
These annoying fans.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I've got Notre Dame fans in my comments saying stupid videos are the stupid videos. It's just for fun.
Yeah.
I got Notre Dame fans telling me I shouldn't post this. Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
I've been blocking them because they've been saying stuff that coming at Lou Holtz inappropriately.
Yep.
I've never blocked anybody before, but
yeah. Mark, I got to tell you, for my own sanity, I am not nearly as active on Twitter in the middle of all this as I am usually throughout most weeks. For my own sanity, I need to pick my spots of this stuff just for my own personal well-being because I am completely emotionally and like I'm drained. I have no more nerves in the tank. I'm almost numb to everything going on because I'm just so burnt out on all of this in the best way possible. I love it and I want it every year, but I am admitting my nerves are shredded. Like I feel it in my body. I just don't. I'm burning out, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I hope I burn out every year.
I'm running on fumes. This playoff run wouldn't have been as sweet if it wasn't for this show, all the callers, all the regulars, Tony, J. Carr, everybody. That's awesome.
Yep. This is a special community. It's a special community. Mark, hang in there, buddy. And I'll reach out to you offline. I saw some of your messages. I'll shoot you a text about some things.
All right. Later. Bye.
Have a good one. Oh, man. All right. Quick time out for a second. We'll go right back to the callers. This is, this is good stuff. Ross says, to score 31, it definitely would not be all on the offense. The OSU defense just doesn't allow it. Check the history. That's where, Ross, I think you're Adam. I definitely covered that in the beginning of the show. Yeah, I had some very specific thoughts on that. And so, listen, I've thought about this, Ross. Notre Dame's got to keep the score down from Ohio State's end. It can't turn into a track meet. Notre Dame's got to keep that score down and then figure out ways to score. And then it's like, can you get a short field with a tip ball interception? Can you do a special teams thing? Like, I don't know what it's going to take, but Notre Dame's got to keep that score down. And I believe if Ohio State's able to get 30 or more plus, I think Notre Dame's in trouble. Like, Notre Dame's chance here is to keep that score as low as possible. And then I think you're in it. Let's get back to it. That's PETA knocking at the door. Kent, I did that right before the big cold front came through. So we had that gentle snow and it was like in the low 30s, but it was before it flipped to being like 0 degrees, which it is now. Tim, what's going on, buddy? What's up?
Hey, John, how you doing?
You know how I'm doing. You know how I'm doing.
Speaking of that, if people didn't know, keep Lou Holtz in his prayers. Did you know he was in a car accident
where he hurt his leg.
I did not know that.
So it's debatable. He's hoping if he recovers fully, he wants to be in Atlanta for the game. But yeah, I didn't know until like a day ago that he was seriously injured in a car accident.
Oh, I did not notice that. I thought I saw that it was his 88th birthday coming up, and what a birthday to have. It's kind of like, Tim, that's what I mean when it's like everything's kind of coming together. It feels like Lou Holtz turning 88, and 88's when he won the championship, and he's going to get a new hip and body slam Ryan Day. Like, let's go.
Well, if you look at both of our last titles, there's a lot of similarities. 77, we dropped a game that we had no business losing, went to the green jerseys, won on the roll. You look at 88, and I'm not going to take one thing away from this team. It's been remarkable what they've been able to do. But let's not forget the teams Notre Dame beat in 88. So they beat USC when they were 2. They beat Miami, which reminds me of this Ohio State game a little bit, where nobody gave us a chance to win.
Yeah.
We played the game of our lives. I don't know if you've ever seen the game film of that 31-30 game or not, but I'd recommend if you've not. Then we beat West Virginia at the end of the year. That they were 4. We also beat Michigan State. So, you can't take that run away either. And they had to win every week because back then you couldn't lose or you were out. So I think you nailed it best with your video. The spirit of Notre Dame gets this done and we win. All we got to do is absorb it. If we can be into the fourth quarter, only down 3 or hopefully up, but in a tight battle, I think we pull it out. Just don't get blown out in the first half, and I think we win. I think we win our 12th national title.
Yeah, dude. Tim, I totally understand why the Ohio State people would come in here and be like, "Really, John? The Notre Dame spirit's gonna help you, like Notre Dame win? Like, get real about like football stuff." And I don't know how to explain to those people that somewhere deep in my heart, I really believe that's a living, breathing thing. That's a real thing around Notre Dame. And I don't expect anybody else to.
If you know that place, it is.
Yeah.
John, nobody give. All right, I'll go back because your fan base isn't an 88, but they're a little bit older. Nobody in hell gave us a shot to win in 93. That team was the team of the damn century. We couldn't shut that stupid quarterback down.
Yeah.
I understand because he had a couple kids give him votes. We should have won the title that year. We beat those SOBs up and down the field. Burris had 8 picks if he would have held on the ball. So, no, I don't want to hear Notre Dame can't win.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think everybody said it was going to be impossible for us to go undefeated. We lost the game. Thank God it was week 2. We built off that. I don't think we go on this run if it's not for that. There is something magical. You want to go religion? All right, they want to bring it up. It's the Trinity. It's year 3. The great coaches that buy in, and you said this way back. I'll give you the credit for it. You got to buy in the spirit of Notre Dame, and you'll get the mojo of the 3. And if you don't buy that, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Go root for a different team or do something else.
Yeah.
Don't live and die in Notre Dame or go away.
But Tim, like, I honestly do understand why, if you're not from that world, that you would be like, are you crazy? And like, John, you have a football channel and you ended your keys to the game talking about some spirits helping Notre Dame win. Like, I don't care if nobody believes that but our group. Like, I feel some of that Notre Dame-iness in me and that kind of like thing. Whatever, man. It is what it is.
But John, you've already vindicated yourself on that because you said I'm not an X's and O guy.
Yeah.
You're a fan base outlet. You're not breaking down the film. I mean, you do it, indirectly to your other guys, but
yeah,
that's why what you're doing is smart. These people are clueless, and whatever they can say whatever the hell they want. That's why I don't go on Twitter. I try to get arrested. Don't leave that. I'm an old man.
Tim, dude, you on Twitter would be, I would like to just put a camera to record you scrolling through Twitter and see your reactions, dude. Oh my God.
I'd probably stroke the hell out.
I'd
stroke the hell out.
Oh, it would be.
I don't deal well with people that hate Notre Dame. And that came naturally from my father.
Yeah.
So he would literally, if he was at a party with socializing and somebody said something negative about Notre Dame, he'd just get up and leave.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up in.
Tim, it's so fantastic.
I also grew up in, you didn't wear another school sweatshirt or your ass ended up in the lake.
Yeah.
Should I keep going on?
Yeah. It is, man, this is just, what a ride. And it's like, dude, Notre Dame's going to find a way. I haven't settled on a final score, but I'm going to have Notre Dame winning close in a score under the 30s, I think, for both teams. And I'm like,
all right. I don't think I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nope, go ahead.
I don't want to get into a shootout, but I'll take 31-30. That has significance.
Yeah. It's I just think Notre Dame wants to muddy this game up and make it a fist fight and a lower scoring affair. So I don't know, Tim, but I openly admit my tank is running low, man. My nerves are shot, my anxiety's through the roof, and I am emotionally drained in the most beautiful way I could ever dream, because Notre Dame matters again, and I'm happy about it.
Which is perfect. I have to ask a personal question. How do the three women in your life deal with it?
My mom she understands what it means to all of us, and she just wants to see me and my brother and dad happy, and she gets into it too and does all the Notre Dame stuff. She's at all the tailgates and stuff, and she wants us all to be happy. The wife it's tough. It cannot be easy being married to me, man, because I am the way I am. And dude, and it's like during the season, there's really no days off with what I do. And so then once the season ends and the summer's my time to do more family stuff. But it cannot be easy being married to me. I'm already a weird dude. You add in all the Notre Dame stuff, and it's like, John, what's wrong? Why are you pacing around the house all day? It's like Notre Dame football, and then my daughter's just getting into it, man. At 4, she just wants to put on the cheerleading outfit and see us all yelling, and see us all cheering. But dude, it cannot be easy being married to me. Absolutely not.
Oh, I asked my wife about that one. Because we were dating and 9/11 happened, and the Purdue game got canceled. So they moved it the first week in December. So I brought her over to the house, and I said, and I was also going through a rough time. That's when I lost my parents. I said, this is what's going to go on. And it wasn't a great year either. I think we were 7-5. If we lose, I'm going to be in a bad mood. The phone's going to ring off the hook.
Yeah.
Because people call me from Notre Dame. I said, this is what you're signing up for. This isn't going to change. So...
Yeah,
I can relate.
Yeah,
so,
it can't be easy. It can't be easy. And people are asking me to ask you, do you have any outgoing messages for the fart smeller that was giving us our time from Monday's show?
No, see, John, that's the other thing. You say me, I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah,
I won't go into your chat because I would get mad. And Tom shouldn't have backed down on apologizing. That hatred towards Catholics, I grew up with that too with my dad, because he'd be 105 years old. So, No, that hatred, you want to hate us, fine. But I thought I want to give kudos after that one caller. I think he was like the third or fourth caller in, and said what Christ would say to do. Pray for these individuals that hate us. And he was dead on his whole summary. So you want to hate us, that's fine. You want to hate us and throw a rosary bead, that's on you. May God have mercy on your soul. And that's all I'll say. Go Irish, and please, no more. And I haven't heard anything. No injuries out of practice, right? Please.
Yeah, I don't... We'll probably have 12 more guys on the injury report by the time the game kicks off. So this is the week that never ends. It's taking forever, and God bless you, and hang in there, man. I'm sure I'll talk to you.
All right.
See ya.
All right. Take care. Thanks, John.
Oh man, I love that guy, dude. Him and Tom Frawley are some of the most Catholic people I've known since I've done all this, that I've gotten to know, and how serious the religion part of all this ties into the whole Notre Dame-iness for them. To see those guys be literally praying the rosary and all that before games and doing all that. And then the switch flips and then it's full rage. There's nothing more interesting and fun to me than that. It is unbelievably entertaining when those guys just go off like that. 352, welcome to the show. First time caller, what's going on?
Hey, John, it's Debbie Thomas down in Florida. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm so glad you called. How are you doing? I think it's been kind of an interesting last few months for you. How are you doing? Thank you for calling.
I tell you what, Notre Dame is what's keeping me going right now. And I would leave the house to go see the game because I don't have good TV reception here. I'm on the antenna. I'm in the middle of in the country here. And I would look at my husband's arm before I walk out the door and say, make your wife smile again.
Oh man,
And
I
go
like
somewhere
that.
to watch the game. Yeah, make your wife smile again. And they would win. They would win in playoffs. And I got to this point, and I'm going to say it again to them. Make your wife smile again.
Yeah, man. It means the world to me to have you call, because I know you were in here regularly for a while, and then I know you're a husband and all that situation, and then it was hit or miss. But just know a couple people remembered you and asked about you, and it was on my mind, and it's really good to have you in the mix, and I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to call. And all of us have some Notre Dame people in our lives that we've lost that are going to be really, really heavily involved in what's coming the next few days. It's just unavoidable that your Notre Dame heart goes to those connections with those people that aren't with us, but would love this ride.
Oh, yeah. And I feel this game's going to be won in the trenches, definitely. I think Denbrock will spread the offense like he did against Penn State in the second half. I think defense will show up, and I do think that we're going to get some turnovers here.
Yeah, man, that is you're drawing a roadmap that I'm I'm very in favor of. This team, they just feel different. Don't you agree? There's just a different vibe about this group and this coaching staff that they've hit a different level. And we've been waiting for that in Notre Dame for a long time, for it to look and feel this way. And it's just really good to be in this position.
Yes. And I think what I think this team has is they think with the same brain cell, they beat with the same heartbeat, and they have a lot of grit.
Yeah.
And they trust. They trust in each other. They trust their coaches. The coaches trust them in return. And it's like a very tight-knit family. It's family.
Yeah.
And you cannot beat family.
Yeah, it really does feel that way. And I don't expect any of our opponents' fans to understand it or relate to it or whatever. It's a very unique Notre Dame aspect, the spirituality, the family part of it, the religious part of it, like how it all ties together to represent something bigger than just like a game on a sports game on a field. It is it's a very, very special thing, this Notre Dame-dom. And even though it's driven us crazy for the better part of 30 years, it's still a big part of all of our families and our lives. It's special.
It is very special. There's something that's the only thing I could come up with, with the fact that they got grit, they got the heartbeat, they got the brain cell, they got all of it. They got the moxie. I think of the song Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, and that plays my head a lot.
Yeah.
Because that's a motivational song. And I that's what I think of when I think of this team.
Yeah, it is. What do you think of Marcus Freeman and his journey and maturation as a head coach in the biggest lights on the biggest stage and doing that, learning on the fly at Notre Dame? And what do you make of his journey and where he's at now?
I love that man.
Yeah,
I love that man. He's a motivator. He's a natural born leader. And I think that's testament for having 6 children too.
Yeah.
He instills that, in his players. Some of these kids don't have father figures.
Yeah.
If you think about it. And he is that father figure. And like he brings his kids to practice, so they can see him interacting with his kids. And I think it's a wonderful thing, because it's a lesson. It's not just a lesson in football, it's a lesson in life. Yeah.
No, that is very, very, very well said. I'm with you on all of that. And the other thing is I am grateful to just be doing what I'm doing and be able to connect all these Notre Dame people and Notre Dame families. And like, we are all kind of one big group here, and it feels like a family in this chat, other than the trolls from the other teams. And it's really a special, special thing. And I've said that forever. The best part about what I'm doing is all the people I'm meeting along the way, that from all different walks of life, all different socioeconomic statuses, Notre Dame grads, Subway alums from all over the country and different countries, and all just woven together by our love for Notre Dame. It is the most beautiful thing.
it is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm very fortunate, and I appreciate you, John, very much. So, yes, I am going to be watching on Monday night, even if I have to watch it on my phone. And because I go on Dofu and watch games. So that's how I get football games.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went crazy when they won that game against Penn State. When Jeter got that kickoff, I screamed. And then it's quite. I live in the campground, okay, in a motorhome, and it's quiet time after 10 o'clock at night, okay, and I'm screaming on the top of my lungs.
Good for you.
Heck yeah, they did it.
Yep. Good for you. Good for you.
Start freaking crying. I cried. Oh my God. But they were tears of joy. They were tears of joy. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of this team.
Yeah. Yeah. I
remember the 88.
Oh man. Can you give me any advice on how to process these next few days like you did in 88? What should I do to not lose my mind?
I can't tell you, John. I can tell you what works for me. I hang out with my dog. I have a dog like you. And, I walk with him and I try to keep busy. And that's been my best friend. You know, I joined a bowling league, a women's bowling league in the morning.
That's
Thursday
awesome.
Mornings.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I'm not any good, but.
Yeah, but it's something to do and it gets you out and you get to meet new people and meet some new friends and be active and all that good stuff. I got to tell you, I really appreciate you calling. This means the world to me. Maybe we got one more in us. And if we do, this is going to be very, very, very special. And anything else on the way out? Thank you so much for calling.
You're quite welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Man, that is special stuff. That's special stuff. And I just, I mean, I don't care what anybody says or whatever. Those kind of calls are like the heartbeat of this show. And she was here for a long time and then dropped off. And then I found out her husband passed away and that's why she dropped off. And then to come back in later in the year. And it's just a special thing, man. And I really appreciate stuff like that. That's what this group's all about. That's what this group is all about. I'm trying to find some folks that haven't called before just because I think that's the right, fair way to do it. 720, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
John, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. I mean, I'm wound a little tight, but I'm okay.
Yeah, me too. Hey, few things. Those are awesome calls, and I agree with the Catholic aspect that I'm super happy to hear Marcus Freeman brought that back, and that's probably one thing that kept Brian Kelly from winning the title.
Well, here's the problem with it. I understand the thought of like, how hard is it to be in church 1 hour and then have to change your entire mindset into like beat the opponent's ass the minute church ends. And I understand, understand that is a challenge, but all Notre Dame's other teams that succeeded for 100 freaking years found a way to do it. Maybe that has to do with the way you motivate your people.
I'll take it a step deeper. Like Crusader Knights did it and then went out and killed people. So like it's possible, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a great example, but it embodies the spirit of Notre Dame, and the school it's a Catholic university first, right? Yeah. And Brian Kelly just didn't have it, and he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
I'm not even hating on the guy. You just tell those kids don't buy into his dirty dancing, and
yeah,
But no, this team. I have to say, like. At halftime of the Penn State game, I was like, man, this is. I felt like, as a kid, did you see the movie Homeward Bound?
Yeah.
You remember at the end, and the young dog comes up, and then the cat, and then the little kid is like, "Oh, Shadow is just too old." In my head, I was like, just too many injuries, and then all of a sudden,
there they come over the hill. There they come over the hill, dragging ass, but with a victory. Yeah. It's
it was remarkable, but I was like, that's how that moment made me feel. Like it is a special group, and as someone that played on really good high school teams and college teams and coached some football, like I don't know if I've ever seen a team overcome adversity like they have.
It's been really impressive.
Two O-linemen in the middle of a game go down.
Yeah. It truly is. It's a testament to everybody, man. The recruiting, the development, the evaluations, and then the players to really take the next man up thing and play with no drop off. It is a total compliment to the entire operation, top to bottom, everybody involved, from the recruiting end, the coaching end, and the playing end. It's just a great job.
I've never seen that at any level. With becoming that, like Marcus Freeman he's a special coach, and it's the other thing that I love is the national media. All of a sudden, it's just harping. We need to join a conference. What? So we can go beat up 8 teams out of the Big Ten and have 2 games. We have a harder schedule than most teams in the Big Ten. They know that we checked that Notre Dame collected all the money. They got the great young stud coach, and we should be dominating the next 10 years pretty easily.
You know what else I think about with this, like the independence thing, and then I see all these tweets and these articles written about, is it fair that Notre Dame gets to keep all of the money for making the playoff and then the rounds they advance or whatever and keep all that money? And they're like, how is that fair? Because they don't have share with anybody because they're independent. No one is willing to bring up the flip side of it, which is if you don't make the playoff, you get no money if you're Notre Dame. Why are people only focusing on the plus side of it? It's a risk benefit thing. If Notre Dame flames out and misses the tournament, they don't get a share of it like a low-level SEC team does when another SEC team makes it. Everybody's only focusing on the high end of this and not the risk end of this, where if Notre Dame doesn't make it, they're making $0. That is a decision. Exactly. Why isn't that a part of those articles or tweets?
That's exactly it. And John, let's be honest, these new conferences, the Big Ten is full crap. You have USC and UCLA and Oregon in that conference.
Yeah.
That they're going. You're telling me that makes geographical sense, or there's even some rivalry between Southern California and Northwestern, or Southern Cal and Iowa? No.
Yeah.
If you got the means, why would you not go independent?
Yeah. Exactly. And dude, that's the other argument I make all the time is I don't understand why people act like independence is only available for Notre Dame. Any team, any school could say, I like this independence thing. We are going to go do that too. I don't understand why people act like it's only Notre Dame that could do it. If you want to do it, go do it. And guess what? If you don't have the following, the brand, or the money to do it, it's not my problem. That is a you problem, not a Notre Dame problem. Anybody could do it. Go do it if you think it's such an advantage.
Well, and I think this is maybe a little conspiracy, but not really. I mean, I think that once they realized that having this huge bye week, or the bye week for the conference championship was not the advantage that they thought, they were like, oh, well, now let's backtrack. You know what I mean? Like, no, Oregon got. I mean, in some ways, how much benefit would it have helped Notre Dame to rest some guys? I don't know. Maybe quite a bit. Maybe not. But the fact that all 4 of those teams lost, now they're looking at it as a disadvantage. So, I don't know. My only gripe with the college football system right now is, can we play the game on a Friday?
Yeah.
So I can go.
Yeah.
I'm in Colorado. I can't play it. I'm never. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
But what can you answer me why we play on a Monday, that game?
Is it? It's just traditionally it's been on a Monday. I don't know. Do they not want to compete with playoff games in the NFL? I think that's a part of it. Maybe they don't want to. They just don't want to mess with that. And so if you get into the Saturday, Sunday things in the playoffs, you don't want to compete with that. But put it on a Friday then, and then people at least can either be miserable and sleep in the morning or celebrate sleep in the morning.
Right. I mean, I don't live in Ohio, and I'm not an Ohio State fan, so I don't date my cousin, and I got to work, and so I can't make it on a Monday. It makes no sense that you would get so much more, I think, national media if it was on a Friday, because who remembers half my friends that are more NFL fans forget that the game's played on a Monday night usually.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird thing. And it has been messing with my content routine that these games have been in the middle of the week. It's all bizarre. Friday night for Indiana, then the middle of the week for the other two. It has just been all up in the air and messed up. And I don't know when the game is, but I'm just glad we're in it. Anything else, my friend? It's good. It's good to touch base with you.
I love your show. And I love that. This is fun to listen to because you have some great callers calling in. So
thanks, man.
Go Irish. I'm gonna say we put these SOBs in a phone booth, and we win 20-13.
Oh baby, I love it. Oh baby,
I'm saying we slug it out.
Ooh.
You know what? Their biggest weakness is Chip Kelly's play calling. If that guy could run the ball against Texas, and he kept going for splash plays. All we got to do is get in the little Chip Kelly's head, like Michigan did, put him in a phone booth, and beat their butt.
Man, let's do it.
Got it.
Let's go. Thank you very much, my friend. Anthony, $5 hour. Let's open the entire playbook this game. They may have a more talented roster. We have better coaches. What though the odds be great or small? Old Notre Dame will win overall. They're literally playing by that logic. It's literally playing out. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Troy, this podcast is hilarious, but it's very entertaining. I'm not sure if you're trying to be offensive or not. It's just so funny, man. The Ohio State side talks about Notre Dame being soft and we don't understand what real high level football is and all this stuff. You guys literally couldn't beat Michigan on your own field, took all those losses to them in a row. And then with all of the problems regular Americans have in their day-to-day lives, the state legislature in Ohio thought it was wise to take time and resources to come up with a bill and a law to ban planting a flag after a football game. That is absolutely sick-minded, weak-minded stuff. It's unbelievably offensive that with all the problems regular Americans have now, that was the priority of the Ohio State legislature. You're out of your minds. Absolutely out of your minds and totally disconnected from the real world. That is unbelievable to me. Let's go to 949. Looks like a first-time caller. What's going on, 949?
Hey, Johnny. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's going on? 949. Are you in California? I hope everything's safe, and I'm sure it probably would. You are, or you wouldn't be calling, right?
Well, last year was pretty tense. My two of my sons live out in Santa Margarita here in Orange County, and they were sweating the fire.
Yeah.
But we're quite a bit south now of L.A., but it's been going to be devastating to our economy. I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe we'll change our politics here.
Man, it is. It's rough.
For you listeners, don't move here. This is insane. Our legislature literally is insane, and our governor is the chief clown. So,
Man, I try and keep the politics out of it. Let's just say you guys are going through a tough time.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, you're going through a tough time.
Watch the clown show we have out here.
Yeah.
But in any event, I called you primarily because you get me in trouble all the time, John.
What did I do?
My wife's twin is John Kennedy. Okay? She took that DNA test. She's 75% Irish. His grandparents came from Ireland. But when she comes in, I have this on. I put it on first thing in the morning. She goes, Turn that guy off.
Yeah, dude. I get a lot of that. And you know what's funny is at the tailgates I host, you have a lot of like families or couples that walk up. And I can't tell you how many wives or girlfriends have looked at me and pointed at me and go, "You're the one that's on the TV yelling all the time." I'm like, "Yep." That's it. And you know what really gets it going? The kids will walk up to me and they'll just go, "That's right." And I'm like, "Oh man, I'm having too much influence here. We need to dial it down."
Well, I love you, man. But yeah, I saw your other caller talking about, and I'll admit, I'm from Southern California and I'm from San Diego County, so we hated LA. But Southern California, USC, they were fine. They were in LA, so I would root for them. Sometimes root for them. My mom was a convert to Catholicism who grew up in a severely anti-Catholic home. Her best friend couldn't come in the house because she was Slavic Catholic. So,
wow.
But she was always a Notre Dame fan, even as a kid, and then she converted. But my attitude toward SC changed in 1978 when I was dating a girl whose family was all SC fans. They were rich. She would be disinherited if she married me, she was told.
Jeez.
I was Catholic, and I watched with them. Her grandmother was rich, had tickets to the 78 SC Notre Dame game with Joe Montana. Said, "I'm not going to use them." I said, "Well, let's go. Let's you and I go." "Oh, no, we have to go to the La Jolla Country Club and Tennis Club for the Thanksgiving weekend."
Ooh.
I said, "We'll be there the whole time. We'll drive up in the morning. We'll drive right back after the game." No. So then I was tortured having to watch that game and watching the quarterback fumble at the end of it and have it called an incomplete pass. I don't know. You're probably too young to remember.
Yeah. I like this. I like this scar tissue. I like this scar tissue. I like the scar tissue.
Oh, there's a lot of it there, my friend.
Yeah.
But in any event, at the end of the game, I had to suffer their cheering. And you know what I said to them? I said, "That's okay. Catholics have been ripping off. Protestants have been ripping off Catholics for years."
Yeah, it's man, I don't expect anybody else to understand the whole Notre Dame spirituality, religiosity connections. It is what it is, and I'm happy. I'm happy that we whatever, man. Nobody else needs to understand it. Our group gets it. What do you make of this game? What are you feeling? Is this really a team of destiny? Can they find a way to grind this out one more time for 4 quarters? What do you think?
Well, I think I can tell you, as a former defensive end, anybody who knows football, plays football, knows what it feels like when you're being pushed down the field at the end of the game and you're dead tired and you can't go anywhere. You're stuck there. And it is so mental. It's so emotional. And that's what I explained to everybody after the Northern Illinois game. Football is so incredibly emotional that when it drains you, and that's why you see these upsets after big wins, because it's so emotionally draining.
Yeah.
And this team has shown themselves. To me, it's going to be the difference in the game is the way they have forged their will to win. It's I watched them my entire life, and I've never seen a Notre Dame game have the will to win like these kids.
Yeah, it's a different thing, man. It's the kind of vibe. Ronnie, I see you. Just keep doing your thing, buddy. Keep doing your thing. I mentioned you about flipping burgers at the tailgate in full regalia from McDonald's. I didn't ignore you, Ronnie. We have been, in my lifetime, I'm 40 years old, so I was too young to remember 88 and the 93 situation, really too young. Ever since then, I've been begging for a Notre Dame team to play with this edge, to play with this resolve, to play with this aggression, to never give up, to play cranked up. If the knob goes to 10, to play it at 12 when you need it the most. I have been begging for this kind of approach to Notre Dame football and this feel around the program my entire adult life. And I'll be damned, Marcus Freeman has got these guys cooking right where I need him to.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny? I watched this Rich Eisen guy who talked about being a young reporter watching the game where the Rocket ran 2 back.
Yeah.
And he said after that, he was a reporter for the Ohio State, Michigan college newspaper, right? He said after that game, he detested Notre Dame and still detests them. But I watched that game, and my middle boy was an infant. He was in the room with me.
I almost had an aneurysm on both of those run backs because I couldn't yell.
Yeah.
He was sleeping. But now he's saying, and this is an incredible phenomenon, I told my wife, Notre Dame's most hated football program in America. Now, all of a sudden, we're America's team. And it's all because of Freeman.
Yeah, it really
That
is.
guy-
It really is interesting. It really truly is. I mean, all it takes is the guy with the right personality to make Notre Dame fun and modern and hip and cool again and likable again, and just all the things that are the opposite of everything Brian Kelly is and stands for is what's going on now, and it's a beautiful thing.
And you know what encapsulates the thing that encapsulates it all is I watched it live when Marcus Freeman went into that room full of kids, and I've been in that room, and they just went insane. You could tell there was a connection with that guy that was totally different.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he just, he's made his mistakes. Hell, he's not even 40 years old yet.
Yeah, learning on the big stage. Learning on the big stage.
Yeah.
Man, it's beautiful.
Anyway, that's all I had for you, Johnny, but I want to let you know that even though you share my wife's twins' name, you're anathema in the Goodman household.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it very much. And hey, stay safe out there and stay safe to all your people, okay?
I appreciate it. Go Irish.
Have a good one. Oh, man. 937, what's going on? My people don't want to hear from you. What's up?
Hey, John. What's your favorite Buckeye fan? How's it going?
I'm wound tight.
I bet you are. I'm on tight too. It's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be really close. I do think there's been some. It's kind of funny because I talked to my uncle. He's a giant Notre Dame fan, right? My mom's side of the family, they're kind of Notre Dame fans, the men on that side. And I told him last week after they won, I said they kind of feel like a team of destiny. And then what's interesting, though, is I kind of feel like Ohio State's a team of destiny, too. The way they won with it's kind of interesting that the sack that ended with the strip sack and the touchdown, those guys were roommates as freshmen. So it's kind of interesting that Ewers and him were roommates. But it's going to be a great game. And, I guess one good thing is that one coach is going to come out with the national title that neither of them have ever won one. So it's going to help diversify college football.
Hey,
look at
it this way. Either way it goes, it's going to piss off Michigan people, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I know that day it's just such a big day too. You take a step back and you see what's happening in the morning. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure many of us here are very happy about that. And it's kind of interesting. Both teams. It's like similar to the political thing. Both teams coming back from basically epic collapse. Losing to a MAC school, Ohio State losing for a fourth time to Michigan.
Yep.
Coming back from the dead. I mean, it really is that type of a feel, and it's just amazing. I think the last time I talked to you, John, I was like pretty much told you I was going to root against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like that's how much we've it's changed, and I'm not really sure what to say. I've heard a couple of people talk about how over the map we are as fans, Buckeye fans, but we are insane fans. That is for sure. I do think what I'm interested in is that I think if Ohio State, I think it's going to be really close. I think that unfortunately for Notre Dame, I think it helped Ohio State that they played a close game this week. If they would have played a blowout game, I think, when it comes into playing a closer game, they might crap the bed, so to speak. I think that gave them a little bit of confidence that they can win a close game.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame's got that feel this year where they're winning these close games. I do wonder about the injuries and how that's going to affect.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man. Trust me. Me too. Every single week we bring it up and they just keep winning.
Yeah. My question to you is how, the guys that played, how impacted were they by the flu? Because, we had that common opponent, and we held Penn State to 6 points on offense.
Yeah.
And
I'm curious,
curious, like,
here's what I think. Number one, the delay of the game against Georgia and the emotional output that it took to do all that and navigate that weird situation. And then the game was a part of it. Then you have the injuries that are already a challenge. And then you add in the flu. And now what's interesting is, depending on who you ask, you get different answers about how bad that flu was and how far it spread. I heard that it was an overblown deal. And then behind the scenes, I heard that like 20 guys were puking and dumping everywhere. So I don't know what the reality is, but I'm convinced Notre Dame's going to have more energy coming out in this one for sure. But all of that definitely looked like it took a toll in the first half against Penn State.
Okay, because I saw the line. It moved like Notre Dame was the favorite, and then right before the game, Penn State was a 1-point favorite.
Yeah,
so
I saw that
it was
too.
I thought it was definitely because of that news, and then part of me is wondering, that would be a really nice thing to release as far as we were sick, to kind of I don't know, just mind warfare. But it's been an interesting season, and I just got to say, as an Ohio State fan, you are just you are a gem on YouTube, a serious gem, and I wish you were going to get to go to the game to give us content from the field there, using your SI sports pass and all that stuff. That would be great. But I know that you'll lose a lot of money from YouTube if you go.
You know what, man? It's a part of it. Thank you very much. A part of it is, obviously I feel an obligation to be with my group after this moment, whether it's good or bad. I feel like I have an obligation either way to do that. But the other thing is, man, like my brother's flying home from Florida to be with the family. And like, I feel a strong inclination to be with my immediate family for this one all together.
Yeah. Yeah. One last comment, John. And, I know that the Ohio State fans are crazy. And there's a lot of crazy fans out there. When you have 12 million people as fans, it's hard to keep the crazy ones from talking up. But as far as the team, I really think that Ohio State's not going to underestimate Notre Dame, just because how close the games were the last couple of years. And now, if they would have beat them by a lot last year, maybe they would overestimate. I just don't think that the coaching staff is going to let this team. And so it's going to be. That's why I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, it's
I think that Notre Dame's good, and
the team just doesn't quit, man. I think on paper, if both teams play a pretty good game on paper, you guys should probably win. It's just Notre Dame refuses to lose a game, and I'm not gonna pick them to do it now. So I think close game, and Notre Dame somehow finds a way, because they've earned that from me. And I'll go down with the ship if we get boat raced or something bad happens or we run out of gas or it's one or two more injuries than we can handle. I will deal with it. Yeah. But man, this is
I think the pressure. I know we talk a lot about pressure, at least for all these shows. I think one thought on the pressure thing, I really don't think either coach has a lot of pressure on them. I don't think that that's going to be the reason why one of the coaches loses. I do think, though, that Riley Leonard is going to have to play his A++ game, and I think that's where you're going to find pressure. It's going to be on different positions. So I think Riley Leonard and then our quarterback, which quarterback busts under the pressure?
Yeah.
And I do think that our quarterback could play a little bit more. He could have a turnover or two, but that doesn't mean the death to us. I think that it could mean the death to Notre Dame just on stylistics, on offenses. But so I think really Riley Leonard's going to have the most pressure, and some quarterbacks do really great under pressure. I mean, look at the kid from Florida a couple of years, 10 years, 20 years ago now. Yeah. But some players do really good, and I think maybe he's one of those guys. But I think he has the most pressure on him of anybody.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's man, this is going to be it's going to be a battle. But at least you're going to have an old school northern cold weather traditional program be the champion. Yeah. So at least it's not anybody in the South. It ain't going to be Michigan. So
I think it's going to be years to come too. Years to come, I think it's going to be similar stuff. Years to come.
Yeah.
So, okay,
It's,
well, John, I'll let you get back to your Irish fans.
Hey, thanks a lot for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. And hey, we'll see how it goes, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
See ya. Oh, man. East of the Bend, 1988. That is a very specific holler of the dollar. Thanks for all you do, John. Best indie content out there. Listen since the beginning, but rarely get a chance to listen live. Your voice is one of the most common that runs through our house. God bless your house. You need help. I appreciate it, though. That means the world to me. That means the world to me. This is funny to me. Fan opinions don't mean shit. Why are you here then? Why are you here then? Like, obviously, I understand what I say isn't going to change the outcome of the game, but why are you here in a fan call-in and chat show? Is it just for the entertainment? Is it just for the entertainment? Dr. John, have a good one, man. See ya. You're a real one. 484. What's going on? Welcome to the show. We're in the mine shaft today. 484. Hey, whoa, yo.
That's me.
I got you.
Okay, John, you have me?
I do. I got you. Hello.
John.
I'm here. I'm talking to you.
John.
That was the full boat with that guy waited forever and I feel bad. Then I try and go to him and then I hear myself in the background and then it's on a delay. Nothing's easy, man. You can't hit a home run every time. You can't hit a home run every time. $5 holler from Callahan Auto Parts. My oil change today was an OU fan. Might get fired. Man, it's just rough. You might have to just go for it and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do, man. Hello, hello, hello. Are you there? And then in the background, I hear myself echoing with the delay. That was the full boat, man. That was the full boat. 386, what's going on?
Hey, Johnny. How you doing, man?
I mean, to be totally honest with you guys, like, I just kind of feel like everything's a blur right now, like an emotional blur. My nerves are shot. Like, if you notice, man, I felt like there was way more energy after the Georgia game than the Penn State game because it just took everything out of everyone and everybody was exhausted and had no nerves left to be frayed by the time the call-in show started.
Yeah, this run that we're on, it's nothing I've experienced, but I feel like this is the calm before the storm. It's Wednesday, and now as Thursday and Friday and the weekend starts approaching, that's when the nerves and excitement's going to start ramping up here.
Yeah, this is, man, there's just so much to process in your Notre Dame mind, like just about the journey we've been on and just about Freeman's personal journey and this team overcoming all these injuries and everything. And all the stuff with Freeman and his history and intimate connection with Ohio State. And you just wonder, man, is it really a team of destiny? And do they have one more in them that could live on forever if they pull it off? Like, it is a big time Notre Dame narrative.
It could be one of the biggest narratives in the program history. And, I wanted to touch on the simple fact that all of these Ohio State fans that are now coming out of the woodworks, it is very interesting how vastly different they are when they are losing and when they are winning. About 4 weeks ago, you guys scored 10 points at home against Michigan, who lost 5 games this year. It's just very interesting to see them be as confident as they are when, if you're a true football fan or football person, you know
every single game is uniquely different. For them to think that they're just going to run us over, I think it's a horrible take. And honestly, you've been saying it all week. Let that fuel us. Like, that's what we want.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's listen, that's the angle. I understand why they're favored. They've looked like the most, well-rounded team, most impressive throughout every round of the playoffs. Like, I get the top end talent. All the money they spent to keep their guys from going to the league to do one more run. I get all that. It's just, this truly does feel different. We've always talked about what Notre Dame team can get over the hump and have a different edge to them and succeed in these moments. Notre Dame did that this year. If they do it one more time, it is literally the best 30 for 30 since the Catholics versus Convicts won. Like, the whole documentary is right there for you. This is the final chapter. Can they find a way?
Yeah, I really hope so, man. And really, I think it's super cool that Andrew's flying up there to be with you guys. What better time to get the family together for a national title? Like, can you imagine? Are you guys going to watch it at your place? What are you guys going to do?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is watch it in my place. And then, halfway through the fourth quarter in the TV timeouts, that's when I run downstairs, get my notes together, set up the stream so that when the game's over, I can just hit live and all the lights are on and everything's connected. And I just set up the phone line. And so they'll all be over. And then I'm going to go downstairs, and if it's bad, they're just going to leave after the game, and I'll be with the people for the misery. And if we win, then we're all going to party and have a good night, and they'll be on the air too. And it's going to be wild. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be on to the wee hours of the morning. And honestly, the more that I think about it, unless we get blown out by 30 or 40, I'm not going to have misery. Like, at this point, this team has done so much for this program and for this fan base. And this is just not – Freeman has not even tapped into what he is building here.
That's a big point
about all that.
There's two big takeaways I have from all this, regardless of what happens, in this game. Number one is Notre Dame has proved that they are closer to the top end of the sport than what I thought they were entering this year. They're a lot closer than we thought. That's number one. And number two big takeaway is I don't even think this is near what a top-end Freeman team at Notre Dame is going to look like when you have better health and get some more guys in here. That's what I think.
And I totally agree. We've done so much with, I don't want to say so little this year because this team is talented, but when you look at the grand scheme of this, when Freeman's 5, 6, 7 years in, wow, it just is a testament to how this team has played this year and how well, they've done with this season.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be better. So plan is you're going to go live Friday, and then Monday, are you just going to go live after the game then?
Yeah, we're going to go live after the game Monday, and we're just going to go from there. I am not even really, dude, I think you'll understand what I mean. I have not even really put together a content plan if Notre Dame wins, because to do that, I have to immerse myself in the thought that we get this done and our lives are changed forever. And I honestly don't even want to go there in my mind until it's reality. So I have not even really planned out what I want the content to look like if we win, because I don't even want to go there and think about it in my head yet.
Yeah, and it makes sense. If it comes down to it and we pull this off, we win this game, you'll have, plenty of energy to create that content plan.
Yeah,
so I totally get you.
It'll be great. It'll be great. You guys, some people are asking about going to the game. Number one is I have no interest in any way, shape, or form being in the regular crowd with Ohio State people. That does not interest me at all. If Notre Dame wins, I'm going to be plenty happy in my basement. I do not with my family. I have zero interest in being in a mixed crowd with the Ohio State people. None. And it's not just Ohio State, any of these. I wouldn't want to be by Georgia people. Like, I don't do well with that. So the road game, bowl game thing is not for me. The way I'm wound so tight, I don't need to be around those people. That's number one. Number two is we are the newest group covering Notre Dame with the Sports Illustrated thing, and it is seniority based on how you get these credentials, and we are the lowest one on the list. So I think my boss could probably go, but there is not a bunch of loose credentials for everybody when it is your first season covering the team. So I hope that makes sense to people, and I am perfectly happy being with you guys and my family for this, good or bad.
Yeah. And, that's the same with us. We watch the game at home. We're not, like you say, you cannot pay me to go watch it somewhere.
Yeah.
And especially this type of game.
Yeah.
You need to be around your people. And if it goes our way, you're enjoying it with the people that matter the most.
Exactly. So and to me, that's my immediate family and this community. And I mean that in my heart. And I love all of this, even the trolls. Like, I love it all. And so good or bad, I feel a strong obligation to be with my people. And that's my family in this community here. So we're going to see how it goes. So I'm going to do, we'll be live again Friday morning. And if people want it, we'll crank up a Saturday Night Live and we'll build this up. And then we'll do our regular morning thing and it'll be a pregame show. It's going to be interesting.
Yep. Perfect, man. Super wholesome show today. Really appreciate the time and you taking my call. Make sure to tweet out the link to the Ohio podcast. I don't know if that's going to be on his channel or yours, but tweet out the link to that when he posts it.
Yeah, I recorded some with him as a standalone video that I'm going to post tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to go live on his show tomorrow night, and it'll be live. So it'll have a different flavor. And I'll try and let people know.
Cool. That sounds good, man. Thank you so much for everything, John.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, folks, that's going to be it. I still had another bank of calls. I hope people understand. I think I got everybody in. I got everybody in that's never called before. There's a call log and it tells me how many times. Any numbers that didn't have that means it's first time caller. And I tried to do that. $10 holler from Nikki Dean, loves to be heard and seen for the party. All I can afford after the tickets. Yeah, God bless you, man. God bless you going to this game and making that work and pulling out getting tickets and doing all that. Look at this. Yeah, of course the chat will be open during the game. We've had pretty good luck doing that. Pretty good luck. Ronald McDonald, I hope they win, John, just so you can have a great night. I really appreciate that, Ronnie. Even you got a good heart in that clown soul of yours somewhere. John, get me on the next show, 832. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to get a balance of the regular callers that have personalities people relate to and know that have their own kind of character role here, and then blend that with some of the new people. Man, I really just appreciate this community. And whether it's good or bad, I wanted to be with you guys for this moment. And I just feel an obligation to So thank you guys for being here. We got along a little better today. It wasn't quite as intense with the personal stuff today. And I really appreciate that. Deb Thomas, call of the day, means the world to me. It's just a special group here. OSU has no idea they're playing the Avengers. The Wells Lamont player of the game. It's Reggie Brooks who had the hot hand today. All right, folks, I love you. Stay tuned for the interview tomorrow with Eric from the Ohio pod. He leaned into the Ohio hillbilly take that we had on this show. He really leaned into that. So we'll have some fun with this tomorrow. Look at the video. Love the show, John. Thanks, Benny. Appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. Love you, most of you.